Hey boys and girls, this week we are going to start reading books by Laura Numeroff. And Laura Numeroff has written many books. She's the author. She has written books like If You Take a Mouse to the Movies, or you might know the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And so we're going to be reading some of her books this week. The first one that we are reading is called Beatrice Doesn't Want to, by Laura Numeroff. Do you want to do the book song with me? This is the front of the book. This is the back of the book. This is the spine of the book. This is the title of the book. This is the author of the book. You got it. You got it. No more times. Remember last week we talked about the fiction books that have a main character. And the main character is the person or the animal that the book focuses on. And so this book is called Beatrice Doesn't Want to. Who do you think the main character is? Who do you think this book is going to be about? Probably Beatrice, right? And I'm gonna make a prediction and say that this is Beatrice. A prediction is when I make a guess on what I think about the book. So I think this is going to be Beatrice. Let's find out. Beatrice didn't like books. She didn't even like to read. More than that, she hated going to the library. So my prediction was correct. This is Beatrice. But that's where her brother Henry had to take her 3 afternoons in a row. Henry had to look after Beatrice. He also had to write a report on dinosaurs. So we have Beatrice here and her brother Henry. And so I'm going to say that them two are going to be the main characters. What do you think? All right, let's keep reading. Why don't you get some books from the shelf? Henry suggested when they got to the library. I don't want to, Beatrice said. Look at how many books there are, Henry said. I don't want to, Beatrice repeated. Then what do you want to do? Henry asked her. I want to watch you, said Beatrice. But I have to work, said Henry. I'll watch, said Beatrice. How do you think she's feeling right there? Yeah, I think so too. She looks pretty mad. She's crossing her arms. She really doesn't like the library, right? I give up, said Henry. He worked on his report. Beatrice watched. Henry tried not to notice her. The second day, Beatrice didn't want to go back to the library. You have to, said Henry. I don't want to, Beatrice told him. But I have to work, Henry said. What do you think the problem is? Remember we said that in fiction books, books that are made up, there's usually a problem. What's the problem? You're right. The problem is that he needs to go to the library and she doesn't want to. And it looks like she's staying still and not moving. Let's see if he can make her go. When they got there, Beatrice saw a big comfy chair. I'll just sit here, she decided. Okay, said Henry, but don't move until I'm finished. Henry began to work on his report. All of a sudden, he felt someone tapping on his shoulder. He turned around, and there was Beatrice. I'm bored, she said. I give up, said Henry. On the third day, Beatrice followed Henry around while he looked for more books. Can I hold some? Beatrice asked. Henry gave her some books to hold. They're too heavy, Beatrice wailed. I really do give up, said Henry. You're driving me crazy. Please, Bea, Henry begged her. I've got to do this report. It's due tomorrow. How about a drink of water first, said Beatrice. How do you think that they can solve their problem? How do you think that they'll solve their problem? Henry needs to keep going to the library to do his work, but Beatrice doesn't want to, and she keeps interrupting him. So how do you think they can fix that? Make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to say maybe she can... there's a lot of books in the library, so maybe she can just find a book that she likes. Okay, let's find out. Let's see how they fix this problem. They went down the hall to look for some water. Suddenly, Henry saw a poster. This is it, he thought. Let's see the poster. The poster says, the library will read Albert Mouse has a brand new house today at 4 in the children's room. Come on, said Henry. I don't want to, answered Beatrice. Too bad, shouted Henry. Before Beatrice knew it, she was in a room full of other children. Henry walked out just as she started to say, I don't want to. See her right there? And he left. Beatrice sat down to wait for Henry. Hello, my name is Wanda, said the girl in the next chair. This is the second time I've heard this story. Big deal, said Beatrice. Albert Mouse lived in a brand new house. The librarian began to read. She held the book up so everyone could see the pictures. Beatrice glared out the window. Glared just means that she looked out the window. Do you think that she likes that book? Yeah, it looks like she doesn't want to be there. Let's see what happens. Albert Mouse also had new roller skates, the librarian continued. Beatrice loved to roller skate. She looked at the librarian. But Albert's mother wasn't too thrilled when he skated through the house, the librarian read. The boys and girls laughed. Beatrice smiled. So now she's actually looking at the librarian, and she smiled. She remembered the time that she had tried roller skating in her own house. Then Beatrice laughed. She listened to the whole story. But when the story was over, Beatrice went up to the librarian. May I see that book, please? She asked. Of course, said the librarian. What? Beatrice is asking for a book? Why do you think that she asked for that book? Maybe she liked that they talked about roller skating, which is something that she did. Maybe she wants to look over it again, right? Let's see. Let's see what she's gonna do with that book. Beatrice sat down and looked at each picture over and over. Suddenly, she felt someone tapping on her shoulder. "Time to go," Henry whispered. Beatrice kept looking at the pictures. Henry stuck Beatrice's hat on her head. "We have to go home now," he said. Beatrice ignored him. "Come on, Bee," Henry said. So first, she said she didn't like the library, she didn't want to go. Then she found a book that she really liked, and now she doesn't want to leave. "I don't want to," Beatrice said. What is she doing? She's hugging the book. It looks like she really loved that book. Do you think that she changed her mind about the library? Yeah, in the beginning, remember, she said she didn't like the library, she didn't like to go, but then she found a book that she really loved, and I think that after reading that book, she's gonna want to keep going back and finding books that she likes. All right, I hope that you all liked this first book by Laura Numeroff. Go to Flipgrid and find out what our activity is for today, and I can't wait to read to you tomorrow's book. Bye.